Sometimes people see in the West that the India's excess or its strategic partnership with Russia as a burden, but sometimes excess is also leverage.
The relationship between India and Russia goes back for many, many years. And it is exactly that relationship and India being the largest purchaser of Russian oil, just surpassing China, that exactly gives it that leverage to be able to be a trusted and honest broker to negotiate between the two countries. And Zelenskyy and Kyiv officials have urgently been working to expand the global backing for their peace formula. And this peace formula is primarily predicated on the withdrawal of Russian troops from their land. Prime Minister Modi making this trip sends a huge signal to the world. And as you rightly commented, it was incredibly emotional for President Zelenskyy. I mentioned that I was in Kyiv when the Children's Hospital was hit. Prime Minister Modi is on the ground and is able to see these things firsthand for himself, the devastation and what is taking place. It is different than reading it off of a briefing report, and his motorcade certainly has passed that Children's Hospital. It is impossible to miss in the city of Kyiv as he's moving around the city. So the leverage that India has is immense, and it is due to their longstanding relationship and Russia's dependence to a degree on India being such a large oil purchaser.
From Ukraine or the political establishment in Ukraine expect bigger outcomes? Or do you think that the fact that this meeting took place, the fact that the Prime Minister made certain gestures, gave emphasis on certain words like that we are not neutral, is a good beginning enough?
It's a huge beginning, and expectations have been beyond met in the sense that Prime Minister Modi made this historic trip, being the first Indian Prime Minister to make a trip since Ukraine's independence. The expectations were met the minute he landed on the ground in Kyiv. And Modi and Zelenskyy have met twice in the past on the sideline of G7 summits since the start of the war, including in June, even in Italy. But this is very different, him being there. It'll be interesting to see what the takeaways are in the sense of what are the next steps and how Prime Minister Modi rises to this occasion of continuing being the peace negotiator. He's made a strong stand to say that he's very much involved. He is not standing on the sidelines, and he wants to see peace in the region. At the end of the day, this crisis has had significant impact on the global economy and Indian businesses that have not been immune to its effects. The conflict has caused disruptions in supply chains and input costs and increased demands for goods. So the global economy has been affected, which means that Indian businesses have a hard time planning for the future in circumstances like this.